In just 10 minutes, Shannon Sharpe exposes the whole courtroom drama, staged to undermine his credibility, right in front of 3 live TV cameras. It all starts in the Clark County District Court of Las Vegas, where Sharpe faces a $50 million lawsuit that could end his career. A young woman named Mia Torres accuses him of assault, emotional abuse, and recording their encounters without consent, claiming they dated for 2 years, starting when she was 19 and Sharpe was in his mid-50s. The allegations hit hard, and the media frenzy is relentless. Headlines scream Sharpe's downfall, and social media splits down the middle. Some call him guilty, others say he's being framed. Sharpe, though, stands firm. He goes on Instagram Live, his voice unwavering, and declares, "I didn't do this. This is a setup, and I'm gonna prove it." The trial kicks off in April 2025, and Sharpe walks into the Clark County District Court with the weight of the world on his shoulders. The courtroom buzzes with tension. Reporters pack the back. 3 live TV cameras from ESPN, CNN, and Sharpe's own Club Shay Shay team broadcast every moment to millions. The judge, Harold Grayson, sits high on his bench, his face hard as stone. He rules against Sharpe at every turn, rejecting evidence from Sharpe's lawyer, Elena Carter, with a dismissive wave. Mia's testimony grips the room. She takes the stand, tears streaming down her face, and recounts how Sharpe allegedly humiliated her, pointing to a 2024 Instagram Live incident, where Sharpe accidentally broadcast a private moment. That incident, which went viral, becomes a cornerstone of her case. The prosecution plays a 30-second clip, supposedly from one of their encounters, and the courtroom falls silent, stunned. Sharpe's jaw tightens, but he leans over to Elena and whispers something. He knows that clip isn't what it seems. Away from the courtroom, Sharpe isn't sitting still. He's been working with a journalist named Marcus Reed, a man known for uncovering secrets the powerful want buried. Marcus has been chasing a lead since Sharpe got a tip that someone in the sports media world wants him gone. Marcus digs up encrypted emails between an unknown sender and Judge Grayson, mentioning a past indiscretion and a demand to ensure Sharpe's conviction. Sharpe doesn't know who's behind it, but he's determined to find out. He tells Marcus to keep pushing, no matter the cost. Marcus delivers a bombshell. The emails lead to Victor Kane, a name Sharpe knows all too well. Kane is a loudmouth TV host, Sharpe's rival for years. They worked together on a debate show, but their fallout was ugly. Kane never forgave Sharpe for leaving to build Club Shay Shay into a powerhouse. Now Kane runs his own media company, and he's after a $100 million podcast deal, the same one Sharpe is on the verge of signing. Marcus shows Sharpe a text from Kane to an unknown number saying, "Sharpe's deal threatens my empire. Make sure he's out of the picture." Sharpe feels a chill. Kane is the one pulling the strings, orchestrating this lawsuit to destroy him. Sharpe and Marcus devise a plan to get undeniable proof. They need something that'll hold up in court and expose Kane's scheme to the world. Marcus suggests planting a hidden microphone in Judge Grayson's chambers during a recess. It's a bold move, but Sharpe agrees. They can't trust a system that's already stacked against him. On the 3rd day of the trial, during a lunch break, Marcus slips into the chambers while Sharpe distracts the bailiff with a question about courtroom rules. Marcus plants a tiny wireless mic under the judge's desk, synced to a receiver in his bag. They wait, hoping it'll capture something they can use. That night, the mic records a conversation that changes everything. Kane calls Judge Grayson on a burner phone, his voice sharp and menacing. "End Sharpe, or I end you. I've got the photos of that bribe you took in '09, $20,000 to throw a case, one call to the Bar Association, and you're done." Grayson's voice shakes as he responds, "I'll make sure he's convicted. Just keep your end of the deal. My name stays clean, and Sharpe's podcast deal dies." Kane laughs, his tone cold and calculated. "Good. That $100 million contract will be mine once he's out of the picture." Marcus plays the recording for Sharpe later that night, and Sharpe's eyes narrow with determination. This is the evidence they need to blow the case wide open. Sharpe isn't done digging. He wants to know how deep this goes, especially with Mia Torres, the accuser. He's always suspected she's not acting alone. He tells Marcus to look into her background, and Marcus uncovers a series of Venmo payments totaling $500,000 from an account tied to Kane's media company to Mia's personal account. The payments are labeled consulting fees, but they start just before Mia filed the lawsuit. Marcus also finds text messages between Mia and Kane, where Kane promises her a spot on his new reality TV show if she sticks to the script. Sharpe's anger mixes with sympathy. Mia's a pawn in Kane's game, but her accusations have dragged his name through the mud. The trial presses on, and Sharpe's situation looks bleaker by the day. The prosecution brings in a tech expert who testifies that the 30-second clip of Sharpe and Mia is authentic. Elena Carter cross-examines, pointing out flaws in the metadata, but Judge Grayson cuts her off, saying, "We've heard enough." Sharpe's fans in the gallery grow restless, their hope fading. The media narrative turns darker. ESPN, where Sharpe co-hosts First Take, issues a statement saying they're monitoring the situation, a sign that doesn't bode well. Sharpe knows time is running out. He has the recording, but he needs to use it at the perfect moment. Sharpe and Elena strategize late into the night before the final day of the trial. They decide to hold off on playing the recording until the judge is about to deliver his ruling. They want the biggest impact possible, live on TV with millions watching. But there's a snag. Marcus starts acting off. He misses meetings, takes secretive calls, and avoids Sharpe's questions. Sharpe confronts him, asking, "You still with me, Marcus?" Marcus nods, but his eyes shift away. Sharpe's gut tells him something's wrong, but he's too close to the finish line to turn back now. The night before the final day, Marcus betrays Sharpe. He leaks Sharpe's entire defense strategy, including the hidden mic recording, to Kane, hoping for a career-making scoop. Kane immediately calls Judge Grayson, warning him, "They've got us on tape. You need to shut this down tomorrow, or we're both finished." Grayson agrees, planning to rule against Sharpe before Elena can present any new evidence. Marcus publishes a tell-all article online, detailing Sharpe's plan to ambush the court with questionable evidence. The article spreads like wildfire, and Sharpe wakes up to a storm of notifications. He's furious, but he doesn't have time to dwell on Marcus's betrayal. He has a trial to win. The final day arrives, and the Clark County District Court is charged with energy. The 3 live TV cameras are rolling, broadcasting to millions. Sharpe's fans fill the gallery, holding signs that say, "Justice for Sharpe." Mia sits at the prosecution table, her face pale. Judge Grayson takes his seat, his expression colder than ever. He opens the session by saying, "I've reviewed all the evidence, and I'm prepared to deliver my ruling." The gallery murmurs, and Sharpe feels his heart race. He knows Grayson is about to convict him, ending his career in one swift blow. Elena Carter stands up, her voice cutting through the tension. "Your Honor, we have one final piece of evidence that will change the course of this trial." Grayson glares at her, his glasses glinting under the courtroom lights. "This better not be another stunt, Ms. Carter," he snaps. Elena nods to Sharpe, who rises from his chair holding a small USB drive. He looks directly at the cameras, his voice booming with the confidence of a man who's been counted out but never defeated. "Ladies and gentlemen, I've been fighting for my name, my legacy, and my truth," Sharpe declares. "But this trial? It's been rigged from the start, and I've got the proof." Grayson bangs his gavel, shouting, "This is out of order!" But Elena counters, "This is admissible evidence of judicial misconduct, Your Honor. You'll want to hear this." She plugs the USB into a laptop connected to the courtroom's audio system, and the room falls silent. The audio begins to play, and Kane's voice fills the space, cold and threatening. "End Sharpe, or I end you. I've got the photos of that bribe you took in '09. $20,000 to throw a case. One call to the Bar Association, and you're done. Grayson's recorded voice responds, shaky but compliant. I'll make sure he's convicted. Just keep your end of the deal. My name stays clean, and Sharpe's podcast deal dies. Kane laughs, a cold, calculated sound. Good. That $100 million contract will be mine once he's out of the picture. The courtroom erupts. Sharpe's fans in the gallery cheer, their voices echoing off the walls. Reporters scribble furiously, their pens flying across notepads. Mia's head drops, her hands trembling in her lap. Grayson's face turns ashen, his gavel frozen mid-air. He stammers, This is fabricated. But no one believes him. Sharpe steps forward, pointing at Grayson, his voice rising with the intensity of a Super Bowl-winning tight end. Fabricated? You're the one who's been fabricating this whole trial. You and Victor Kane thought you could bury me, but I'm Shannon Sharpe, and I don't go down without a fight. Sharpe turns to the cameras, his eyes locking with the lens, speaking directly to the millions watching. This man, he points at Grayson, and Victor Kane tried to destroy me with lies. Kane blackmailed him to make sure I'd lose, all because he couldn't handle me winning in the media game. But the truth always comes out. I'm not done. Not today, not ever. The gallery explodes in applause, the sound deafening. The cameras zoom in on Sharpe's defiant expression, capturing every word. Elena Carter immediately moves for a mistrial, citing judicial bias. Grayson, now sweating profusely, has no choice but to recuse himself. The bailiff steps in, escorting Grayson out of the courtroom as he mutters excuses under his breath. The cameras follow his exit, then pan to Mia, who stands up, tears streaming down her face. I was paid. Kane told me to lie, she admits, her voice breaking. I'm sorry, Shannon. Her confession seals Kane's fate, and Sharpe's vindication is complete. Meanwhile, Victor Kane watches the live broadcast from his studio in Los Angeles. His face drops as he realizes his plan has backfired spectacularly. His phone lights up with notifications. X is already ablaze with hashtags like Sharpe fights back and Kane exposed. News outlets pick up the story within minutes, and clips of Sharpe's speech go viral, racking up millions of views. Kane's career unravels in real time, his empire crumbling under the weight of his own greed. Sharpe leaves the courtroom, reporters swarming him like bees. He pauses for one final statement to the cameras, his voice steady and triumphant. They tried to take me out, but I'm still standing. Club Shay Shay ain't going nowhere, and neither am I. The crowd cheers, and Sharpe walks off, his head held high, ready to rebuild his legacy stronger than ever.